Hello friends, welcome to Healthy Habits with Tucson Village Farm. My name is Celine. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about fast foods and how we can get healthy foods at these fast food restaurants. Throughout the video, you may see this button pop up. This is just going to signal you that you can go ahead and take a moment to think about the questions or participate in the activity. I have left all of the materials in the description box below, so if you would like to pause this video now and gather those materials so that you can participate, you may do so now and join us whenever you're ready. All right, let's get started with today's lesson. Think about what you eat when you're in a rush or you have no time to prepare a meal. What does that look like for you? Some of the things that came to my mind are restaurants like McDonald's, Subway, Chick-fil-A, or sometimes when we're at home, it's very easy for us to just get a frozen meal and throw it in the microwave. But a lot of the time, both of these fast food restaurants and those pre-cooked meals often have a lot of sodium or added sugars to them. For the sake of this video, we will refer to those foods that we get at restaurants like Chick-fil-A and those pre-cooked meals that we throw in the oven or the microwave as fast foods. Let me go ahead and emphasize why fast foods are not the healthiest choices. A lot of the times, fast foods are very high in sugar, which means that they're very high in calories. Whenever we have too many calories in our body, it's often stored as fat, and therefore it can increase our risks of developing heart diseases or obesity. Fast foods often have very little fruits and vegetables, and as we've discussed in other lessons before, it's important to make half of our plate fruits and vegetables, but it's very hard to do that at fast food places. Fast foods often have very little to no whole grains, and we've talked about in other lessons how important it is to have whole grains because of the fiber that they provide for us and those vitamins and minerals that they give us. And lastly, fast foods often provide a lot bigger portions than our bodies really need, which again loops back to consuming more calories than our bodies really need, and therefore increases our risks of developing heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes. Let's look at this poster and compare the sizes of French fries. Let me go ahead and remind you that calories are a measure of energy and food. And whenever we consume too many calories, it gets stored as fat. If we have too much fat, that is often what leads to diseases like the ones that we talked about earlier. So if you notice, the small French fries have 220 calories, while the large French fries have 540 calories. If you were to consume the larger order of the French fries, that is often a lot more than your body really needs, and you'll be less likely hungry for healthier foods. Now let's compare the amount of fat. The small French fries have 2 teaspoons of fat, and the large French fries have 5 teaspoons of fat. While our bodies do need fat in order for them to function, we often consume a lot more fat than we usually need. Now let's look at the soda. A 12-ounce cola has 10 teaspoons of sugar and 140 calories, but a 30-ounce Coke has 25 teaspoons and 360 calories. If you would like to get a visual on what that looks like, we have a video titled Rethink Your Drink, which will explain to you the amount of sugar inside these sweetened beverages. Just like the French fries, drinking that much soda can make us not hungry for healthier foods. If we're thinking about making healthier choices when going to these fast food restaurants, it's recommended for you to ask for a cup of water, as this has 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it's usually free. So the takeaway from this is if you go to a fast food restaurant and you're going to order something, try to be mindful about what you're eating and opt out for the smaller size instead of the bigger size. It'll satisfy your craving and you will not overeat. I'm going to show you a way that we can picture the amount of fat that's in these different fast food items by making blubber burgers. The food that I chose to show you is a McDonald's Big Mac. I see here that it has 540 calories and 6 teaspoons of fat. Let's see what that looks like. So here I have some shortening. We're gonna go ahead and use this to visualize the amount of fat in the Big Mac. I have my hamburger buns here. We're gonna go ahead and scoop in 6 teaspoons of fat onto these burgers. So this is what 6 teaspoons of fat look like. So picture your Big Mac looking like this. So now that we have a visual of the amount of fat that are in some of these fast food items, I wanna go ahead and differentiate between a good fat and a bad fat. So when we're talking about fat in fast foods, this is often known as the bad fats. Some examples of bad fats are saturated fats, which are usually solid at room temperature and often come from animal products. Some examples include butter, lard, meat fat, palm oil, and coconut oil. Another example of these bad fats are hydrogenated oils. Some examples of hydrogenated oils include margarine and vegetable shortening. Many processed snacks and ready-to-eat doughs contain hydrogenated oils. Both of these bad fats have been linked to the increased risk of developing heart diseases. These bad fats can clog your arteries and contribute to many preventable diseases like heart disease and obesity. Some examples of good fats include avocados, extra virgin olive oil, eggs, milk, cheeses, nuts, and fish. It's very important to understand that fat is necessary for our bodies to function, so we should not be afraid of consuming fats. Rather, we should be knowledgeable about which type of fat we're consuming. Now it's your turn. If you would like to try this at home, I will leave some of our fast food nutrition facts labels that tell you the amount of fat in teaspoons in the fast food items in the description box below. I will go ahead and put the name of the fast food item and you could try them however you would like at home. If you don't have shortening, a good substitute to use is butter, and you could still get that visual of how much fat is in the food item. Now that we have seen how much fat is in these fast food restaurants, let's go ahead and see if we can make some healthier choices at the same restaurants by decreasing the fat content in our meals. Check out this menu here. What are some healthier choices that you can make from this menu? One of the things that I thought was a good idea is making the chicken sandwich a choice. It has less calories and it does have less fat as well. Anytime that you make the decision to decrease the amount of calories that are coming from fat in your main meal and increasing the amount of fruits and vegetables, you're already making a healthier choice. So far, we have talked about 2 ways to make healthier choices when thinking about fast foods. One of those being to consume a smaller portion of that fast food, or making healthier choices at those fast food restaurants. A third way to eat healthy but also make it fast is to cook at home. For example, pasta with vegetables and cheese, or rice with beans and broccoli are 2 very quick meals that you can make at home. Or you can get creative. I'll go ahead and leave some recipes down below that contain very healthy fats. One of my favorite things to do is to make guacamole because it has avocado, which is a very healthy fat. I also like to add some onions and tomatoes and lemon juice to make it a little bit healthier, to include some vitamins and minerals as well. Alright, so that is the end of the lesson. I really hope that by visualizing the amount of fat that was in that Big Mac helped you realize that there are a lot of fats that are hidden in these fast foods. But remember that there is such thing as a good fat and a bad fat. Some examples of good fats include avocados, extra virgin olive oil, and nuts, for example. And bad fats are the things like butter, margarine, and lard that are often found in fast food foods. Remember that a lot of these fast foods do not have the appropriate amount of fruits and vegetables and fiber that our bodies need. Whenever you do go to a fast food restaurant, try to be as mindful as possible to choose the healthiest thing that you can find on their menu. I do encourage to try some of the recipes that we have left down there below for you. Maybe try to cook them with your family and let us know how they were. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you learned something, and if you did, please share it with us below in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. Also, leave a comment down below on what you're planning to do the next time that you visit a fast food restaurant. Thank you so much for watching our video. We'll see you at the next one. Bye!